This is the Orioles POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Baltimore Orioles. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Baltimore Orioles POSTCAST live on YouTube. As always, my name is Luke Slabaugh. I'm your post-game show host, walking you through tonight's twin bill sweep, a doubleheader, 2 wins for the O's over the mighty New York Mets. The Baltimore Orioles improved to 42-50. They are 8 games under 500 for the first time since May 6th. 8 games under, not great, but climbing their way up as the trade deadline approaches. For those of you who are new to the show or not familiar with the routine around here, in terms of doubleheaders, when we have these situations, the first block will deal with the most recent game, Game 2, and the second block will be all about Game 1. Get it? Got it? Good. Bear with me here. I'm going through some health things right now. My voice is not 100%, and it will not be 100% for quite some time. More on that later, but before we get started, go ahead and leave your comment who your player of the game is. And in this case, I will give you one for each game, Game 1 and Game 2. Should be fairly obvious, but go ahead and get creative. Let me know where you're watching from. Go ahead and comment, and I will be more than happy to accommodate you all in the second block when we reveal our players of the game. Super excited. But one thing that we got to talk about first, this team had some low moments today. Down, but never out.
This is what you'll be talking about.
No matter what grievances you had with the team, whether the way the roster was constructed by general manager Mike Elias, the way the lineups had been built out by interim manager Tony Mansolino, or just the underperforming aspects of some of these Baltimore Orioles, you got to be really happy with the team effort today. They trailed in both games. They were on their heels early in both games, and yet never surrendered, and in fact turned negatives into positives. Why don't we start by talking about a guy like Tomoyuki Sagano, right-hander, first year out of Japan. Throws his first quality start since the first week of June, that Seattle series. That's a long time ago when you're looking in the rearview mirror. And it did not start auspiciously in the slightest. Brandon Nimmo leads off with a single to center field. He actually led off both games with a single. Francisco Lindor doubles to the right field gap. This really awkward pitch from Tomo. He kind of kneels down after the pitch, like he lands on his heels. The fastball's only clocking in a little over 90 miles an hour. Lindor doubles to right field. And so all of a sudden, the mighty Mets and their big stars got runners in scoring position with nobody out here in this game, too. Juan Soto hits a grounder to Gunnar Henderson, who honestly has Lindor out there on an island. Decides to make the easy play to first, and a run scores. And Pete Alonso, the next batter, gets a curveball he likes, hits at the opposite field to Ramon Laureano. Sacrifice fly made it 2-0. Good 9-pitch at-bat for Alonso. But credit to Tomo. He sets down 9 in a row after the fact. Shutdown innings, the third is all ground outs. And the O's are able to claw their way back and, in fact, take a 3-2 lead. In the fourth, the Mets strike back, and Tomo kind of does this to himself. A leadoff walk to Juan Soto. Then 1 out later, Jeff McNeil walks as well, so you've kind of forced a runner into scoring position. He strikes out Mark Vientos, challenged him with a fastball, four-seamer up kind of around 94 miles an hour. Velocity starting to tick up a little bit. And Brett Beatty with 2 outs just kills it. Sinker over the plate, 94, hits it to right field, and it's a 3-3 tie. But Tomo is economical after the fact, working with the sixth-string catcher Alex Jackson. Great leadoff strikeout in the top of the fifth against Hayden Sanger, who's the catcher for the Mets in this second game of the Twin Bill. All sweepers, increasingly inching off the plate. Brandon Nimmo singles, and then 1 out later, he steals a base. Soto's intentionally walked and able to get Pete Alonso to ground out to Jordan Westburg at second base to end the inning was really impressive. And then a 1-2-3-6 for Tomo. Tips his cap to the crowd as he walks off and strings together a pretty nice outing and earns the win, his 7th in an Orioles uniform. 6 innings, 3 earned runs, 4 hits, 2 strikeouts, and 3 walks ERA sitting at 4.44. But for today, in this game two, we'll go to the turning point and how the offense really did kick it into hyperdrive in those middle innings.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Mets kind of short-handed in their bullpen, but we go bottom five, right-hander Justin Hageman on the mound. 1 out, tie game at 3. Gunnar Henderson able to single to center field, change up low and away. And with 2 outs, Ramon Laureano showing some great plate discipline. He walks. Colton Cowser then gets a change off the plate that he likes, able to rip it into right field, cross his body. It's a single. Gunnar scores. It's a 4-3 ball game. And Ramon Urias, next batter, hacking at the first pitch increasingly these days. First pitch cutter he really likes. Ties up Brett Beatty at third base. He kind of commits the cardinal sin of opening up and taking a step backwards rather than charging the ball and blocking it with his body. And it's an E5. Another run comes home and scores and makes it 5-3, and the O's would never look back. Might want to talk about this could be considered the Alex Jackson game. Bottom 2, and the O's are trailing, as I'd mentioned, 2-0. 1 out against left-hander starter Brandon Waddell. Cedric Mullins gets a sinker on the inside, hits it to right field. It's a double. And then Alex Jackson, recently recalled, he of the 132 career batting average. Change up off the plate. Bloop shot to right field, just plops in front of Juan Soto. And Mullins, with his speed, is able to score. Makes it 2-1. And with 2 outs, first pitch to Jordan Westburg, slider low and in, and Westy is all over that. Gets some lift underneath it, hits it into that shortened wall out in left field for a home run. 3-2. Man. And the O's continue to tack on from there. They got a 2-run frame in the 6th. Jackson, this time, smoking the double to left center field. And this is Alex Jackson I'm talking about here. 6th string catcher. Hits a double to the left center field gap. 2-double game for him. Jackson Holiday moves him over. And then with the Mets infield in, Jordan Westburg hits a rocket to Francisco Lindor at shortstop. And Jackson slides, beats the throw home. Head first slide, navigates around the catcher, makes it 6-3. And with the bases loaded after another Henderson single and O'Hearn walk, right-hander Rico Garcia's in. Ramon Laureano hits a slow ground ball to Lindor. A 6-4-3 potential double play, broken up by Laureano's speed, made it 7-3. And that's the final score that we've got. One note before we move forward, and I think some of you have already mentioned it in the comments, that right-hander Brian Baker is no longer with the O's. Traded this morning to the rival Tampa Bay Rays for the number 37 overall pick. That's a competitive balance pick. That is a draft pick able to be traded right after the first round proper. And so the O's get some requisite bonus pool money along with it. Now that they've been doing their scouting and they're prepared for the draft, they've got another one to work with there in the top round. And good for Baker, who's under team control for another few seasons, and the Rays had wanted him for quite some time. Stick with us. Coming up, we'll go through game one real quick and award our players of the game. Stick with us. Feels like this would have been the game to go to, right? Camden Yards, and you got one more homestand before the All-Star break with the Marlins coming into town. That's when Gametime comes in. It's the easiest way to grab last-minute tickets without the stress. With the money you save on tickets, you can splurge on food, drinks, merch, or even invite a bigger group to come with you. Gametime makes it possible. It's fast and simple. Prices on the app actually drop the closer you get to first pitch. And they've got incredible last-minute deals, clear seat views, and a lowest price guarantee that takes the worry out of buying. Gives you your seat views right in the app before you buy so you know exactly where you'll be. Take the guesswork out of buying with Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use the code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off. Download the Gametime app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. We have one more sponsor today, and it's OpenPhone. If you're running a business, you know that every missed call is money left on the table. Think about the last time you had a service emergency, like a burst pipe. First plumber doesn't answer. Do you wait? No. You call the next one. And that's why having a reliable business line is so important. And that's why you need OpenPhone. OpenPhone is the number one business phone system that helps you streamline and scale customer communication, all from an app on your phone or computer. And the AI agent handles after hour calls, answers common questions, and captures leads so you'll never miss a customer again. OpenPhone is offering Locked On Orioles listeners 20% off your first 6 months at openphone.com slash locked on MLB. That's openphone.com slash locked on MLB. And if you have existing numbers with another service, OpenPhone will port them over at no extra charge. OpenPhone, no missed calls, no missed customers. Where is this? And oh, there it is.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
So for game two, we will give it to Jordan Westburg. That 2-run home run got them on the board, and then that fielder's choice RBI, a 3 RBI game for Westburg. And as we mentioned in episodes prior, the offense just clicks with him in it. 4.9 runs per game. Enough said. And you get these 7-run outbursts. They're tacking on runs when perhaps different iterations of this 2025 team wouldn't score. Game one, which happened earlier today, 12:05 first pitch, different story. A couple days ago, the O's had a game stolen from them by the Mets in extra innings, 7-6. And this was a flipping of the narrative for the Orioles. Some O's magic, if you will. They had been, get this, 1-40 when trailing after 7 innings this season. And the only win that they did have after trailing that late in the game was that extra innings fiasco in Milwaukee. Adley Rutschman hitting that 3-run home run. And so, bottom of the 8th is where we award our first player of the game, or our game one player of the game. Left-hander David Peterson had been cruising for the Mets. 87 pitches through 7 innings and no runs allowed. This guy, and we know that southpaws have been given the O's fits for quite some time, but they've been getting better at it. Their OPS is still among the worst in the league, but anecdotally, we're starting to see some better performances against left-handers in a silo. And Colton Cowser leads off. Sinker he likes off the end of the plate, hits it to left field for a single. And perhaps the Mets were getting a little greedy, trying to get David Peterson to go as far as he could in the first part of a twin bill. They take him out for right-hander Ryan Stanek. And that's when the O's, who had started Luis Vasquez at shortstop, they start doing their chess moves. They put Gunnar Henderson in for a pinch hit spot, and it works magically. 2-1 count. Gunnar gets a cement mixer slider low and in his wheelhouse, drops the bat head, and goes to the flag court for a 2-run home run. Made it a 2-1 ball game. So the first 24 batters to face Mets pitching, and most notably left-hander David Peterson, no extra base hits. Gunnar comes in, brand new pitcher, and it's a brand new ball game. In fact, a completely different ball game. A nightmare if you're a Mets fan. But it's the first pinch hit home run of Gunnar Henderson's career. Hard to get that many pinch hit opportunities when you're an everyday player and you're expected to be getting all the at-bats, starting, leading this team. Stanek then walks the bases loaded. And Ramon Laureano, first pitch sweeper, he likes it, hits it to right field for a sacrifice fly, and gave us the final score of 3-1. Thought Charlie Morton pitched well enough to earn the win. He continues his hot streak. Worked out of a jam there in the first. We mentioned Brandon Nimmo led off the game with a single. Lindor walks, and then a passed ball by Jacob Stallings, who started game one at catcher. Strikes out Juan Soto on a curveball. I mean, just some alpha stuff there. Then Alonso with a curve at the shins. He goes down swinging. And Jesse Winker pops out to Vasquez at shortstop. 7 pitches to get out of the second for Morton. And to be honest, the only blemish he has is the fifth. Leadoff man Brett Beatty walks on 7 pitches, steals second base, and so you're kind of rattled. You're behind the 8 ball a little bit to start the inning. 2-2 count on Tyrone Taylor. Sinker out over the plate, not located the best. Taylor hits it to right. It's a double, and the Mets led 1-0. But that's all they'd get. 6 innings pitched for Charlie Morton, who got a nice hand from the Camden Yards crowd. 1 earned run, 4 hits, 4 strikeouts, and 3 walks. Speaking of alpha, left-hander Grant Wolfram sizzled. 2 innings of relief and a fastball clocking as high as 98 miles an hour. He was the designated 27th man on the roster today. And a 7th and 8th inning, he goes scoreless, 4 strikeouts, and just 1 measly bloop hit. Confounded Brandon Nimmo in the 7th, the sinker in on the hands. Gets Juan Soto to lead off the 8th with the strikeout, curveball dropping out of the zone there at 84. And got Alonso on the same pitch low and outside. So by product of the O's coming back there in that bottom of the 8th inning, Grant Wolfram earns his first major league win in his 3rd career outing. Really good defense, too. There's this highlight play going around. Luis Vasquez making a nice play in the hole, getting Pete Alonso to ground out in the 3rd, 2 outs, 2 on. Makes the play from his knees, gets up, skips the ball twice. Kind of like you're throwing stones there across the water. Rockets it to Kobe Mayo there for the out at first. We carry on, and the O's have 3 more games before the All-Star break. They will welcome in the Miami Marlins and Kyle Stowers. Right-hander Edward Cabrera is expected to take the mound for the Marlins tomorrow night. 27-year-old. He's thrown 78 and a third innings this year. He's got a 3.33 ERA and 80 strikeouts. No official word from the Orioles yet. However, the rumblings are it will be Kramer, Rogers, and Young to wrap up this first half of the season before the All-Star break. I'd like to talk more, but my voice is on the decline, and I appreciate you all here. I've gotten some notes that the live stream comments go away, and I acknowledge this, and I can see that. Um, for me to change that, I think I have to go into the YouTube backend, and I either can't or would not want to risk doing that just the way that we have things set up here on Locked On Orioles. So that's a little bit above my pay grade. If you enjoyed this stream so much, and I see dozens of comments now, go ahead and leave one after the fact once this is done processing. I will be as active as I can in the comments, and I'm very happy to celebrate 2 wins with you today on this Thursday. Why not make it 3 in a row? Final scores today, a doubleheader sweep for the Orioles over the New York Mets, 3-1 and 7-3. Good night, stay safe, and I will see you right back here tomorrow night.